Hey guys, welcome to another HTML tutorial for beginners. Today we'll be learning about some more HTML elements. We will learn about var element, sub element, sup, and small elements. Without further ado, let's dive into it. So first, we'll be learning about var element. In HTML, var represents the name of a variable in a mathematical expression or a programming context. By default, the content of a var element is presented in an italicized version, and that's really dependent on the browser that you use. So let's look at an example here. So in this example here, as you can see, we have got two variables, which is A and B. Now to mark these two variables within our web page, it's appropriate to use var elements within our HTML code, which is what we did here. So we have got var for A, we have got var for variable B. Keep in mind that var element is a semantic element within HTML, meaning that it's used for specific purposes and not just to achieve the italic version or italic format for a content. If you encounter a code that's mistakenly using var for style purposes rather than semantic purposes, you should either use a span and add some CSS to achieve that style, or you can just use the I element within HTML just to give you that italic format for your content. So next we have got superscript or sup element. Sup tag defines a superscript text, that is to display the text in half a character above the baseline and render it in a small font. In this example here, to mark the th after number 10, we can use superscript element to mark this type of content. Apart from ordinal numbers, we can use sup element to mark superscripts in mathematical expressions, such as this example here, which is x cubed equal 9. Remember that if you have got more complex mathematical equations, then you should use mathml or math markup language that is solely used for marking mathematical content within a web page. So let's look at an example for sup element. So here in this example, we have got in 6th grade, I learned that 2 to the power of 2 equals 4. Now, because we have got an ordinal number, we can add a sup element and we put this th. So when I save it, we can see that now we have got 6th, which is an ordinal number. Then we have got 2 to the power of 2. Because this is a math equation, we can just use sup element to represent this power as well. So here we go. In 6th grade, I learned that 2 to the power of 2 equals 4. Next, we have got subscript or sub element within HTML. Sub tag defines a subscript text, that is to display the text half a character below the baseline and render it in a small font. Appropriate use cases for sub includes marking up footnote numbers, marking up the subscript in mathematical variable numbers, and denote the number of atoms of a given element within a chemical formula, for example H2O, which is otherwise known as water. Now let's look at some examples where subscript can be used within a web page. So in this example here, I've used sub-element to mark up the footnote number at the end of this paragraph right here. And looking at the browser, we can see that footnote number is marked below the baseline. I also mentioned that sub-element can be used to denote the number of atoms for a given element within a chemical formula. So in this example here, I've used sub-element to denote the number of atoms for hydrogen element. And finally, in this example, sub-element is used to mark up the subscript in variable numbers of this equation. Again, if you have got more complex mathematical equations and you want to embed it in your web page, you should use mathml to mark up those types of contents within your web page, because it makes it a whole lot easier compared to marking it up with HTML. And finally, small elements. Sometimes in a web page, we want to mark something as fine print, something that's not important but still needs to be there. For example, copyright information that we can put at the bottom of our web pages. So here to the right side, we can see that in the browser, content of a small element has a smaller font size. Now remember that we do not use a small to make a certain passage of text smaller. We can always use CSS to adjust the size of a text to be any size that we want. But overall, understand that we use a small element to mark something that has very little prominence within the web page. Alright guys, so that's it for today's tutorial. Thank you for watching and I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like the video and consider subscribing to LoopDev channel to get more contents like this. And as always, if you have got any questions, put it in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you guys before the next tutorial.